Hi, I'm Pastor Dave, teaching evangelist with Lamb and Lion Ministries. I have been teaching Bible prophecy for almost 20 years. I've been studying Bible prophecy for almost 30 years. Now, because I have taken such an interest in Bible prophecy, I knew a day would come when technology would increase at an extremely rapid pace and the world would change in ways we could only imagine. I knew someday we'd wake up and we'd see that the things we used to call science fiction were now everyday realities. But it's one thing to know this and another to actually live through it. The day I said would one day come, it's now here. I knew the prophecy of Matthew 24 that the gospel of the kingdom would be proclaimed throughout the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end would come. See, I knew that Matthew 24 would need modern day technology to be fulfilled. When Jesus spoke this prophecy to his disciples on the Mount of Olives, it was a very different world. Communication was limited. Messages were carried by foot, on horseback, or by ship. It took time to get a message out. I also knew the prophecy of Revelation 11, where for 3.5 days, people, tribes, languages, and nations from around the world would be able to see the lifeless bodies of the two tribulation witnesses as they lay dead in the public square. I understood for this to happen, technology would have to be much more advanced than what we had at the start of the 20th century. How do people all over the world witness the two witnesses' dead bodies in Jerusalem in real time? That was impossible in any other age. I knew the prophecy of Revelation 13, when breath would be allowed to be given to the image of the beast, so that the image of the beast might even speak and might cause those who would not worship it to be slain. I knew this event would lead to the mark of the beast, and I understood the technology needed for every financial transaction, which would have to be electronic, was going to be one day be possible. Again, to understand these things is one thing, but to see them happening in real life is a completely different perspective. What is happening in our lives today is beyond what I think the prophets of old even imagined. God gave Isaiah and Ezekiel and the Apostle John glimpses into heaven, into the very throne room of God. They saw things that no one else was able to see. They explained details that are just amazing. The picture of heaven, the picture of the heaven that they create, it makes us long to experience heaven. For those who know that heaven awaits them. I'm not even sure if they comprehended how far technology would go before that glorious day arrived. Last week I wrote and spoke about Apple's new intelligent phone, adding AI to our cell phones and raising the technology bar for cellular communication to a new high. In the past, I have talked about how far advancements have come in smart homes, from our appliances to the Ring doorbells, and people like their technology and what these smart appliances and devices offer them. Several years ago, someone wanted to gift my family an Amazon Alexa. I declined because I knew that that personal assistant was never off and that it listened to everything said in the house. I did not want that invasion of privacy in my house. However, in the last 10 years, since it has been available, this technology has been embraced to the point that people refer to it as her or she. They tell her to order food or to play music. They ask her what the weather's going to be. Or they ask her to do things for her. This electronic personal assistant has been so embraced, almost as if it is a human. Multiple surveys have shown since the pandemic, church attendance has dropped. Because of the pandemic, churches who did not have a live stream service, they began one. People went to church from the comfort of their own home. People now have their favorite pastor or pastors. It's become more common for churchgoers to no longer have a local pastor, but to have several online favorites. Remember, Hebrews chapter 10, verse 25 commands believers to not neglect meeting together, but to encourage one another, even all the more as you see the day drawing near. The technology of live streaming has changed how that command is being lived out. Overall, what all this technology has accomplished is it's leading to less and less human connection. People don't talk, they text, even when they're in the same room. Food is delivered to our doorsteps, oftentimes with little or no human contact. We no longer shop. Now Amazon drops off our products at our doorsteps, sometimes even by drone. If we want information, all we do is Google it or we ask Alexa. As a student of Bible prophecy, I understood technology would advance, but I did not realize the cost that would be paid to human relationships and connection. Are we at the point where we rely more on technology and machines than we do people? I ask that because this week I saw what China is in the process of starting, which really started this whole teaching. They are on the verge of opening the world's first AI hospital. It's called the Agent Hospital, and the plan is for patients to be seen virtually by AI doctors. It is staffed with 14 AI doctors and 4 AI nurses. Now, to prove these AI avatars know what they're doing, they were given the same test doctors in America have to take. These AI doctors in China have scored an average of 93.6% on the U.S. medical licensing exam questions. Again, the same test real doctors have to take here in America. This is taking AI and robots to a completely different level. However, another Chinese tech company called Unitree Robotics has created a humanoid robot with an AI brain. A robot with an AI brain. This new humanoid is equipped with 40 joints given it elbows, hips, and knees, which makes it much more mobile and stable. The robot has become the fastest humanoid robot in the world, with a speed of 3.3 meters per second. This humanoid is designed to be much more than a robotic arm in a manufacturing factory or flipping hamburgers at a fast food restaurant. It is designed to do human functions. The company wants to mass produce this to 1,000 humanoid robots by next year. Remember the TV cartoon, The Jetsons? They had Rosie, the robot. She was their maid and she took care of the house. We don't have Rosie. We now have humanoid robots with an artificial intelligent brain. Robots with an AI brain. My goodness. Maranatha, Lord Jesus.